How's it going, gamers? My name is Bones, and welcome to a game called Seul. I believe it's how you say it. It's French, and it means alone. Now, this game is going to be very interesting because it's a atmospheric thriller, and if I'm not mistaken, it's text-based only. So if you enjoy hearing the sound of my voice for some reason, then you might enjoy this game. But the developer was nice enough to be able to send me a key, so I'm very grateful for that. Thank you so much. The game actually seems super interesting, so I'm so excited to play it. But like I said, if you don't enjoy the sound of my voice and you don't want to just see me reading a bunch of text, there's probably in the game for you. So we're going to get into it. Let's go ahead and just start a new game. And if you do like this video, make sure you hit the like button. If you want to see more that I've done, make sure you hit subscribe, hit that bell icon, and let me know if you're new to subscribing to the channel. It's about to begin again. Shh, I know. Well, how far do you think? Not very. Now keep quiet, would you? We're about to begin. Tumble out. Okay, so I think it's one of those where, so it seems to be one of those that we get to choose how it looks. Okay, so looking for something. I don't know, am I? What am I looking for? Oh, it's a scrolly game. Okay. Alright, so everything is black, but it feels thick, almost blankety. Complete darkness totally surrounds you. All you can feel is a hard floor beneath your feet. It's smooth and polished. You're sure of that. The darkness can be felt against your skin, like it has a solidity to it in some way. There are no sounds or smells, but you feel if there were, they would have to work slightly harder to move through this velvet veil of blackness. You hear a lady with a soft, silky voice. Hold it. Looking for something, darling? I need to start over. It's about to begin again. Shh, I know. Well, how far do you think? Not very. Now keep quiet, would you? We're about to begin. Tumble out. Oh, okay. Everything is black, but it feels thick, almost blankety. Complete darkness totally surrounds you. All you can feel is a hard floor beneath your feet. It's smooth and polished. You're sure of that. The darkness can be felt against your skin, like it has a solidity to it in some way. There are no sounds or smells, but you feel if there were, they would have to work slightly harder to move through this velvet veil of blackness. You hear a lady with a soft, silky voice. Looking for something, darling? Wait, where am I? Or stay silent and feel your way around. Let's stay silent, because I don't trust anything here. Can I not scroll this up a bit? Yeah, we can. Careful now, darling. Wandering around in the dark ain't the smartest of options. You move cautiously with arms outstretched, slowly waving back and forth, sliding one foot outwards, then the other. Fear fills your chest with every slight bit of progress. Oh, Peggy, stop meddling and give some goddamn light. You hear a thunderous man's voice yell. It almost makes you jump out of your skin. Lucky you didn't. We've still got to go further to what? Oh, we still got further to go, friend. I had a hard time reading that. Don't judge me. So this game reminds me a lot of the uncle who worked for Nintendo, I believe is what it's called. And it's something similar to this, but it had multiple endings. I'm not sure if this will, but that's kind of what it reminds me of. Hello! Let's yell it. Hello? In your mind, it sounded less loud than it came out. Now you're already rethinking whether that was the best thing to do. Oh, oh, it's so cool. That's the ambiance in the background. You hear distant clunking in the darkness. Clunk, clunk, clunk. You know this sound. Clunk. A brief pause. Clunk. The entire room lights, and it hurts your eyes. Filled with dark, ominous reds, rich golds, and oak wood lining, an entire theater begins to light up before you, cascading its tones across you. The realization you're standing on the stage startles you and frozen for a moment. But there's something odd. It doesn't feel like you're actually standing in there, but more like you are peering into there, in that particular spot, at that particular moment. Clothes and rubber. Let's look around. You look around and there's nothing here. An empty theater. Suddenly an exit sign lights up just to the left of the stage. Exit stage. Oh, I didn't realize I clicked that. Okay, well, I don't know what the other option was, but we're exiting the stage. As you move towards the exit of the stage, a large crowd begins cheering and clapping. You know the theater was and is empty, so you don't dare look out in the non-existent crowd. This is fucking insane. A door just a couple of steps off the stage. Perfect. All right, so open the door. There's not much else of an option. Literally, right? That's the only choice I had. You had to push hard on the door. It swings open, presenting a normal-looking house. The front door is open. You think to yourself, a way out. But you can also hear something else, just as you go to make a move. It's in the goddamn house, Peggy. This is all your fault, you cunthead. Whoa, I'm gonna bury you in the backyard. They know you're here. Well, at least it seems that way. Why is the door open? Is it a trap? Let's make a run for the door. Your legs feel thin and weak all of a sudden, almost as though they are like popsicle sticks stuck in the wet beach sands as waves pull around them. It requires every bit of focus to pull them up and move forward. Why is this so fucking hard? Move, please just move, let me run. Panic and frustration pour over you like someone set up a bucket of water over a door as a joke and you just opened it, becoming the punchline. It's right in front of me, please, just work, legs. Please, burst out from your mouth. Fuck, you think. It's downstairs, Peggy. You hear footsteps right above you. He must be heading for the stairs. You push as hard as you can to make your legs work. They are, but just in slow motion. Your strides are getting bigger. You're almost out. You're in front of the door now, just a step outside. You can feel a presence behind you growing bigger, like some jagged piece of old rusty iron sheeting, the kind you find on some scrap heap. Closing in on you, lifted by a strong wind whirled winding towards the back of you, you make an unavoidable casualty. It feels evil through and through. Fuck, I'm not gonna make it. Your left hand reaches out and grabs the door frame. I'm gonna make it. Your right hand reaches out for the other side of the door frame. One more step. You feel your shirt tighten around the front of your neck. Someone is holding the back of your collar. It pulls hard on your throat like a rope or leash it instantly. Leash it instantly gives you that feeling that you want to cough, and the blood pressure compresses your head from the inside out. No! Your arms pull against the door frame. Your legs haven't get out from under you. Luckily, you haven't kept moving without you, lost the momentum. No, they've strengthened. They are supporting you. All right, so we're in a house. And I guess people are trying to kill us. I don't know what's going on at the moment. Yargo? What? Pull, do it. You pull with all your strength, like pulling and pushing all gravity away, all existence, all natural forces, all rules of physics, all of it. It's almost as if you aren't even trying anymore. It's like everything is being torn away from you. Yarg! We're a pirate. That's it. It's done. You're free. You've done it. Look around, breathing deeply. What? You're standing in an empty subway station? What the fuck? Where's outside gone? What the fuck? Fuck! What the fuck? Why? Why? Fuck! A subway station now. It's empty, okay? I feel like I'm losing my shit now. It's hard to breathe. After that house and all that, some bitch named Peggy, the theater, what nightmare is this? You think in splintered thoughts? Oof. Excuse me. All right, so the seat. Okay, find a seat and sit for a moment. I need a breather. Check the gates. To gates of the exit, maybe they aren't locked. Jump off the platform, walk on the tracks. Fuck knows in this place. Let's check the gates to see if there's an exit. Locked. Sit and wait for a train, I guess. As you sit quickly, you realize how wholly drained you feel, especially after the closed call back at the house. You slowly survey the station again. Still empty, but that doesn't seem to mean shit in here. Every little step in here is like walking on a razor blade, fighting to survive. Hopefully, I just don't lose my mind in the process. Sitting, still scanning the surroundings, you notice a poster on the pillar just behind your left shoulder. That's a cool looking poster. You're surprised it hadn't caught your attention earlier, as it's the only thing you've come across with color. It stands out so vividly, and with its purple contrast compared to the rest of grayscale locale, it makes itself prominent. It pinpoints your focus, but it also makes you feel light and wobbly. Below the poster leaves Lumina Burrow Light. Whoa, I don't know why it's hard for me to read. Lighthouses in the dark. Huh. Gotta remember that and try to track them down. They have gotten answers or offer some help. They may have some answers or offer some help. Let's get up and move. Man, the noises in the background are haunting. Oh my god. You head down the track. The tunnel seems lit for now, and you walk on for some time. Some gravel underfoot, sometimes bending your feet at odd angles. You try walk on the cemented thin pathway as much as possible. Eventually the light seems to disperse, and the darkness grows more prominent, slowly swallowing you and overwhelming any sign of light. Your hands sliding along the cold, cemented wall is the only guide you have. Now and then you trip and stagger, but manage to never hit the floor. At some point of no return on the wall, gravel and everything else dissolves, leaving only a hard, smooth floor and complete pitch darkness. You know that things have changed. You are somewhere else. Let's move on. You walk on for some time, mainly just listening and waving your arms before you in order to not walk face first into anything. But you notice this is starting to gain longer breaks between each arm wave, like your brain is getting used to the fact that there's nothing in front of you. Every now and then, a bit of fear pops back into mind, that there could be a wall or sudden drop in front of your face. So you slow. Caution slows the movement, then relaxes again after some time. This is exhausting, you think to yourself. Then a light pulses dimly just ahead. Like being lost at sea, you finally noticing the light emerging from the lighthouse. After being misplaced at sea for days, the light offers hope, land salvation. You move towards it, but slowly, cautiously, with a serene calm. It could be the exhaustion, or it could be precaution. It's too hard to tell. But one thing you already know is in this place, sometimes the land can be more treacherous than the sea of blackness. It's such a cool thing, man. I love this so much. I love this. I'm going to probably leave this as unedited as possible. I'm sorry. It's going to be super boring just me reading this, but it's such a cool looking, cool little story. Okay, so walk over to the light, stick to the darkness, and move away from the light. Hey, reader, yeah, you, pick this option. Well, I can't not pick that option. Everything freezes. Your character, the darkness. Even though it's dark, you feel it all becomes still. So still, in fact, that you seem to be here, but also out there. Or in there. One more, or more, just where you happen to be this very moment. The text and sounds, noises are all that follows. The sounds carry themselves pre-recorded echoing of what was something before but drifting on, letting go, ejecting you, making you once again aware of all of yourself and your surroundings. What self do I speak of? The voice inside you, of course. Surroundings? Well, where are you at this very moment? Quick, do me a favor, look up and around. Hold on. Oh, I wish I could see what you are seeing at this very moment. How cool is it? How cool it would be to have this ability, don't you? Let's get back to that inner voice. You know, this one reading. Can you hear it? Have you ever studied it? Really listen to your voice. The truest narration of all these happenings, of fiction, but somehow a solid world within your mind, following letters to words to voice. Your voice and my words. It's in here where you are truly alone, that I now address the importance that you are beginning to listen to it more often, especially when it begins to wander off by itself. That's where the magic is, you know? Funny, I was alone when I wrote this, and I happened to be just listening as it began to wander. So I recorded what it said. But that was before, who knows how long before. But now you have a past me with the present you. Don't worry, I'm merely a specter now. Words from a phantom. I wonder what I'm doing right now. The present me, if I'm still even around. Don't you wish you could trap in through this semi-connection we are having and be able to see what I am seeing at this very moment? How cool would that be an ability to have, don't you think? Oh, well, we go on. On we go. Let's introduce a voice, a character, another piece of the story, another fragment to unfold. Forget you were even here. Let's continue. 1, 2, 3. Hi. A whispered voice comes from the jet black surrounding you. You feel uncomfortable, like something slipped. It could have just been the startle. Thinking as you stand, reflexes at the ready, looking every which way, only that one light in the distance glows and hums. Waiting and daring, not moving to move a muscle, other than your head darting around with the upper torso following fluidly. Like a dancing cobra emerging from the clay pot, defensively trying to cover all angles of potential attack. The light darts across and against the direction of your vision and peripheral, as if it has merely... For some reason, I am having a hard time reading. Let's see, where was it at? And peripheral, as if it is a firefly mixed with your straightened speed of a shooting star. It disappears as you look behind you, leaving streaked patterns to your vision. Peering into a black wall at face-to-face distance. Don't worry, I'm not here to harm. I have no intention of that. Nor do I trust you. The voice whispers. The voice sounds male, but weak and polite. I noticed you, and by the looks of things, you're new here. Hard to pin down or locate at all. You stand at the ready. For some reason, you find yourself looking downwards and a few feet ahead at waist height, as if this voice is coming from someone at child's tallness. What do you want then? You whisper back, having no reason to be whispering, but you do anyways. If I can just focus, just notice some movement or silhouette, I could size this thing up, and if it's small, I'm thinking, I'm gonna grab this little fucker. Thinking while peering as hard as possible, studying every patch of black your eyes locks onto. The corner of your visions can still see the twinkle of light at the distance. I won't be staying long. I have to keep moving around here. Remember that, wanderer. I noticed you were new, and you seem decent. It's all a risk, but folks need help too. So that's a risk I'm willing to take. If I feel safe, that is. Okay, so let's take a break. So, what was that middle part that I just did? Like the part where I chose to... it said click here, player, or whatever it was. Was that just like a little break of some kind? Was that actually part of the story, or did I go into like a developer's part? I don't know. It's very interesting. What the actual fuck is this place? Oh, I can just use my mouse. That's freaking amazing. The voice feels less threatening after listening, and you forgot about trying to attack it. Still guarded, though, you wait for a response and quickly dart a look over to the light. There are some places out here, and the other places, even familiar places, a room in your home, even your own bedroom. Wherever you are nested with intimate and recognizable objects that you have decorated, some with meaning, some with appeal, but nevertheless a safe environment, protective, sheltering you from the rest of the world, separating, or God forbid, even your own prison if the circumstances fall in that direction, but solitary and confined behind those closed doors. Yeah, I wish for the life of me I could remember that for myself. Lights on, there are small areas within that very room that are pretty much all of the time absent of light. Nooks, crannies, corners, underneaths, and behinds. They hold dusty realms of forgotten things and undefinables. Lights off as the familiar objects ever slightly reform and twist, just enough that they seem to become a little less known to you. A coat rack becomes a gaunt figure. A stretched shadow seems to be reaching forward. A picture on the wall holds face of loved ones, but they somehow disfigured and conjoined a pile of clothes become a small man sitting on a chair. This is when those small, ever dark areas breach and reach out. Boundaries begin to fade, spreading outwardly, covering, invading what once was familiar. That ever dark, in its blackest center, is where Seul sits. Stare long enough with patience and curiosity as sleep begins to overpower you. You will see what I say is true as its door hinges loose and locks undo. Seul opens up. Ooh, that's an interesting thing. What if we're just in our own house? Ooh. The voice cuts you off. So I'm in. The voice cuts you off. I have helped with what I know. There is nothing more. You understand a little farther now. I've played my part. We may bump into each other again. Plus, I think you have a light you were planning on heading to. Sometimes you need to unfold all options to find more answers. Best of luck to you. Wait. Nothing as you stand there. Somehow feeling the presence of the voice has already moved on just as quickly as it came. Despondent with no way to give chase, you turn your attention to the pulsing light and begin to meander towards it. Let's go onwards. Oh, hello. What? What in the hell? As you move closer, you realize the light wasn't pulsing at all, but swinging back and forth. Slowly coming to a standstill, now it sits above a man with no arms, sitting on an old cane and wood chair. He is staring right into the direction, but it seems as though there's been no notice of you yet. You are still in the darkness, just on the boundary of view. I know you're out there, he yells. Let's walk into the light. Let's talk to the man. He seems friendly. You step into the light. It feels surprisingly warm for some reason. You smell menthol and mint. The man is breathing steadily. He still hasn't made eye contact with you yet. His head is slightly tilted as if he is listening intently. You shuffle one of your feet to make a sound. He turns his head towards you, and you realize he is... Yes, I am blind, he states, beating you to the thought as if he knew the shuffle of foot was a test by the stranger before him. It's really cool this text is going down. I don't know if that's intentional or what, but that's super interesting to me. And armless, in case you didn't notice. A foxy smirk slips across his face as his head jumps upwards. He has gentlemanly voice, young but stern. He seems in good mood, and you feel relaxed around him for some unknown reason. There are no walls around you, but the paneling of darkness has this way of making you feel as though when stepping into the light, it's like stepping into another room with divisions, and inside and outside, the works. All the rules of physics a room comes with. Odd, you think to yourself, as you quickly glance at the surroundings. There's the cane chair he's sitting on, and the floor is a polished dark red wood with grains across it. The deep yellow light bouncing off the floors gives the atmosphere a thick wine red look to it all. It tans the man. It seems calm and cool, almost like a skin-toned brushstroke at the center of a canvas, completely monotoned with this warm red. His pants and the chair are almost the same shade of the floor. He almost looks like a torso with a head floating in space. His pants are a dark khaki, and he's wearing blackish red boots. He is tall and gaunt. If he stood up, he would lurch over me probably. Walking the darkness, I see. What brings you over to me? I see. What an odd thing to say. The darkness, yes. Where is this place? Well, it's not dark in here, is it? For me, it's dark everywhere, but at different depths of gloom. It's nothingness with a lot of something, someone's and somewheres. I didn't invite you. You must be a drifter or lost, or both. You better keep lost, drifter, for everyone's sake. Never stop, never become still. Being still isn't your part to play in here. It's not the way things work. But then again, rules aren't meant to be played by till you question their existence. All I can say is, don't leave your world here. There's no reason to crash and burn. A part to play, crush and burn. Who are you? Ha! What an absurd question to be asking. Okay. The name is First Lieutenant Bernard P. Turdhammer. But most people call me Open Eyes, but you can call me Long Arms. Oh, we got a jokester here, huh? I need answers, stranger. Please help me. You notice his stature change, and an air of seriousness fills the room. Even the light in the room seems to slightly warm and darken, adding a dense gloom as he leans back against the chair, long and tall. Chest and ribs exposed, lay bare. Human existence is lonely, he sighs, blindly stares at you. It's tasteless and dull, full of negativity. Subordinate sitting below that big fiery ball. Who gets to decide things? Anything. All things. And when decisions are made, who gets to enforce it? Should it entail surrendering all freedom? Is that the answer? Place ourselves in the decider's hands? The reader's? Or in the baker's hands and hope the decider or the baker knows what's best for us? Why trust either of them? It's blind faith in a whole truth. He shifts slightly and you feel yourself do the same. Like someone yawning across the room, and you in turn suddenly need to stretch your mouth. Maybe, thanks to duality, one did not actually come before the other, and one is therefore not stronger than the other. So maybe, just maybe, the decided possibility even existed before the decision was ever grappled with. To begin with. If duality is the case, then they're all going to end up polarized in one extreme or the other. The cynics will lean towards the negative, the optimists lean towards the positive. Really, neither of them is more correct than the other. In fact, they are both equally incorrect. All they are really doing is playing favoritism games. If one recognizes the whole for what it is, then it is plain to see that getting caught up in either pole position is really not the place to be. He leans in, and although you know he is blind, you feel an odd sensation that he is staring right at you. Not just at you, but into you. You suddenly feel less comfortable, violated in some slight way, naked almost. So, what of non-duality then? Well, it's foreign and not welcome as a concept to either of the extremists. Why? Because letting go of these attachments would mean a loss of identities. Yes, their precious fucking conceited identities. So why even stop and ponder then? Why contemplate issues that never were a bother to you? Why build castles in the air? Because this needs to be addressed in order to understand the order of here. The purpose, the answers, the darkness you find yourself in, and all that it holds in here. The place we name Seul. All the baker has built and the outside, where the crumbs dwell and lay crumbs. From those fucking Lumina to Wrigley, the origin place, or over there. So many characters play, so many answers to find. But I tell you this, Drifter, here, Seul, where the darkness sits, it really is the connector. The key to all of them, the glue. Would you like to hear what that is? Yeah, I mean, we're already this far in. We might as well see what that's like. Whoa, why did it skip down so much? The answer is nothing anyway. Fucking nothing. There really is nothing existing in this place in the first place. Do you see it yet? How negative, how pessimistic you may think. Well, that couldn't be farther from the truth. See, pessimism and optimism, as we just elaborated before the attachment label of values. Where this nothing sees that there are no values attached. Until one chooses to assign the label, it's detached. Truly detached, and within the art of detachment, there is no moral code, but more rule of thumb. Not to engage in any word or deed that would either enable attachment or hinder detachment, but in oneself and in others, but because good, bad, right, wrong, moral, or immoral, but because it is contrary to the existence of nothing in the first place. His fox smile emerges faintly on the edges of his lips. The darkness that engulfs us refrains from assigning distinctions because it enables attachment, but the attachment comes from you and by your own choice. It does not hold anything within itself. In here, regarding the darkness, you cannot assign a value to no value. But when you do, that in itself becomes a value. However, a value we have chosen to assign from our own point of view, it has no embodiment in the darkness itself. The darkness holds on to nothing. He relaxes back in his chair, and as gaze moves off into the dark backdrop, filling his lungs with a deep breath. Of course, there are the ones who warp this darkness nature into preservation for their own benefits. They give the false value that no value allows them to do whatever they wish, whatever they desire at all. But that is a big fucking contrary to what all this is. And if you wander around here long enough, you will find them, the ones who employ the darkness and misuse it for their own purposes. I hope you never come across them. You can't help but feel as though you notice a sense of duplicity in that last sentence. This place is not attached to anything. It is not good. It is not bad. It is not right. It is not wrong. It is not correct and it is not incorrect. There is no position to take in here, for there is no position. There's a lot of contraries to this, man. What is going on? It is not a value to uphold, for there is no value. It is not a reason to have, for there is no reason. It is not a meaning to place, for there is no meaning. It is not a purpose to find, for there is no purpose. He pauses, and a smile fills out his cheeks. A fox smile has become something devilish. And it's not a narrative to follow and unravel through choices and pathways, for there is no narrative. The softer fox smile returns, and the fiendish look dispatches. It is not non-existence, because non-existence is a concept of some state that only holds significance, with conjecture to existence, meaning that non-existence is just another aspect that exists. No, this is nothing. The darkness, what it is, can never be found so long as you are seeking and believing, with the lie in the middle of believing, there is something to find. There is nothing. Nothing to be found, nothing, and no thing. But it is not a suffering zone, bliss, perfection, utopia, mist, smoke, fog, void, or even empty space. It is nothing you can point to or allude to. It is not any sort of quality or state of being. All that is something. There are no somethings here that actually take part of darkness form. They are merely indwellers, something filling a sort of space. It has no labels because it is beyond labels. This shit doesn't feel like nothing to me. It feels like something. I'm something. I am. Surely if I am, then this is. Or is it not? Is it really just nothing? How absurd. A waste station of nothing. You think to yourself as your head hurts and you're filled with a feeling that there is something not quite real about any of this. My God. You and all of anything that is something here is just a visitor, a tourist, a tenant. You should really try to understand what it is you think you are getting yourself into. And to understand this, you have to reach an understanding that there really isn't anything to understand. But looking at you, I think you're still not ready for it, because you play a game with choices and pathways that have attachments that you can never get rid of. Your ideas, beliefs, concepts, and convictions made you choose your very path here. Your values, purposes, meanings, outside narrative, your distinctions of good, bad, wrong, right, evil, good, correct, and incorrect make you play a game that isn't worth playing. The sounds. Oh my God, it's terrifying. Okay, but you still cannot tell because you have played it as everyone else. You have played it Seul, alone, with all of us in here, and no individual necessarily has a place in it. His body relaxes and his head leans back over the chair. His neck stretches as his Adam's apple punches out from his throat. It moves up and down like a ping pong ball pushed by air as he whispers something over and over again. You cannot hear it, but his voice sounds like a wet serpent moving through reeds of shallow gray water. Let's leave him be. I don't know, this guy's giving me the creeps. Retreating to the bowels of the dark, you feel it cover you, submerge you into a black smudge. At this moment, you truly do feel unconnected to everything except the black. A severed roamer, a vagabond, a drifter, an explorer, a floating and displaced self of what I am somewhere else. Wondering, the darkness seems to go on for a while. The black canvas begins to play tricks on your perception and even lacerate through the thoughts at almost randomized moments. Sounds buzz by, yet don't actually seem to be there. There seems to be something comforting in a negative space though, something deeply safe. Like a child hiding under a blanket from a monster. You noticed you are just walking now, and any caution of walking into something has vanished along with the fear of what else could be out there in the dark, in wait. One foot in front of the other, stepping forward, onwards, in what seems to be a straight line. You've stopped scanning your surroundings at this point, as any glimmer of light would stand out like the sun after an eclipse. Photophobia, a symptom of abnormal intolerance to visual perception of light. Your eyes suddenly burst into pain. Like looking into the sun, they begin to force themselves closed. The sound of buzzing to artificial lights turning on all at the exact same moment echoes through you. I was alone. Is all that you can think of as your eyes begin to cease burning and start to adjust, opening themselves, adjusting quicker than you expected. Everything in front of you is illuminated. A man's voice, the man sitting in front of you, Lumina burrow, a mouth left open, gaping, looking just like a trash can. Suddenly, it's dark again. What? In the pitch black, you can still see the negative silhouette of the room and the strange man sitting in the middle of the room. The brightest lit parts left as green, orange to white imprints of what was still there. All precaution and alertness have spiked through your being. You move forward with arms waving, eyes wide open, surveying for any glimpse of flicker of light. Breath held, ears pricked to any sound, heart pounding and racing, legs feeling shaky but agile. You move on, but in an entirely different fashion this time, ready for what may come. Damn it. Damn this place. It is non-irrational shit. It is non-rational shit. You think as you move forward like an exposed lamb who wandered too far from the flock? And surrounded by wolves in the fucking dead of the night. Everything and everyone here are so unknown, so obscure, it's a constant threat. Everything is a threat in here. Everything. You feel your chest tighten along with your fists, your jaws clenched in pain, and panic is quickly turned to anger and frustration. Then to a determination, your strides forward become more controlled, pushing out all the fear as they become replaced with the resolve. This fuel won't last forever, but it feels good for a while as you move on. The fuel long gone and completely diffused just as desperation was beginning to invade. A light shines in the distance. Once again, you feel like a moth to a flame, and your body takes you forward. You stop just before a group of interconnected tents. As you take a step closer, you look down, and the light spread over and through the tips of the dark green grass. It's so dense that the light seems to only be blanket its surface. Like light trying to penetrate itself into the depths of the green lagoon, you squat down and run your hand over it. Warm. Its touch is soft and damp. Part of you wants to just lay on it and rest. Squatting feels good too. Bending the knees and hips make you realize how long you've been walking for. You look back up at the tents and read the sign overhanging the entrance. Electricity of the farm. Lumina burrow. Electricity. Surely it's connected. Fuck. You ponder as you take a deep breath, begin to stand. Your knees creak and feel rusty as you return yourself upright position you spent so much time in. I guess we'll move towards the tent. You move cautiously across the silent, spongy grass. Your stomach begins to knot and tumor of fear bulges up and away in your throat. Like a cancer that will begin to spread if you don't swallow it back down, you swallow as you guardedly grab onto the tent's entrance tarp. Pull the tarp open. An empty ticket booth sits across from you. The light is on, but there's definitely nobody there. Well, at least I don't have to pay for this shit. To your left, a display room lights up and startles you at first. A speaker blares out a recorded voice of honeyed young lady. Welcome to the electricity of the farm brought to you by Lumina Burrow, illuminating the apothec. Oh, the images are so creepy looking, man. Suddenly, another booth lights up to the right. An upbeat melody plays from the piano, but there is no movement. The girl seems very realistic wax sculptures. Both booths are encased in a glass wall, so there is no chance to get close enough to study them. Survey the surrounding room. The tent is circular and it feels oddly solid considering its fabric. It may just be because there is no wind moving it. It feels damp and sad for some reason. Thick where it absorbs the artificial light vividly growing from the booths, pushing itself against the tarp, then dissipating into black at its point peaks above you. A booth filled with lights and mirrors stands just a few feet away from you across the tent. Just a few feet more than to the back right, a small hallway with a light and a door. Nothing else. The sunless world, you mutter under your breath as you inspect both options. The small hallway. What the fuck? You decided to skip the booth and move on. There's no need to slow down in here. You walk down the hallway. Nothing is out of place. A photo sits in a basic frame on the wall opposite to the door. You study it for some time, then you grip the door handle and you stare back at the image again and study it one more time. A deep breath fills your lungs. It feels good. You turn your face to the door once more, leaving the picture behind. Here we fucking go again. Turn the handle. The darkness invades again, ever present, but in the not too far distance, you see a light, another path. You decide to head for it. The walk is quick, but somehow you feel within yourself that you have traveled a considerable distance from where you were once. As you approach, you hear sobbing. You hear sobbing moving closer. I want to get out of here. I want to get out of here. You hear a female voice weakly say through bouts of sobbing. You have walked to a solid wall to your right where there is light and sobbing is originating from. Everywhere else is the darkness, so there's only one way to go. Move to the light. You turn towards the corner. There sits a lady of middle age, very still, and she seems to be looking at something across the room. Hidden in the dark just to your left, you look over. There seems to be nothing there. Your focus switches back to the lady who may just be in some sort of trance. Suddenly, you hear sobbing coming from behind her, a door. The sobbing is coming from just behind her. Step forward. You step forward, now exposing your presence from the dark. Hello? You present yourself as to not shock her. She offers no response at all. You take another step looking at her. She still does not even flinch. You look at the door. The sobbing continues. Hello? Hey lady, excuse me. What's going on in here? This time, you are sure to speak louder. Still nothing. You shouldn't go in there. She is broken. You're too late, you know. A girl's voice pronounces from the dark room to your left. Spin to your left. What the fuck is this? Is the first thought. Purple shades over pink shades, over yellow, over green, over black. Peggy is bruised beyond repair. The deformed girl speaks and then has nothing more to say. She turns away from you slowly within a ghostly plane of existence and reality. You look over the lady sitting in the chair. Grief seems to have molested her face. She still offers no sign that you are there. What is going on, my guys? Oh my goodness, this is so bizarre. Okay, walk to the door and enter it. You move towards the door, walking past the sitting lady as you brush past her. She whispers, "Forgive us for what we have done." You pause just past her. It isn't grief, it isn't regret that has taken her and contorted her. You think as a sense of urgency and worry embodies you. Open the door. You open the door, suddenly you feel out of place and in time and space. A girl stands with her back to you inside a black room. Whoa, stop. Stop, Google. Stop, Google. Okay, where was I at? Sobbing, a girl stands with her back to you inside a black room. Sobbing, her disfigurement jolts you out of comprehension. For a brief moment, mercy burns up in your heart. What have they done to you? You mutter as your eyes fill with tears, inspecting her wounds. It's a sickening mix of open wounds, some surgical, some not, and what seems to be skin grafts and treatments, only to be opened up again almost over and over. Grab her by the shoulder. Oh my God. You try to turn her face to you, but you cannot. It puzzles you as you then attempt to walk around her to see her face. No matter what you try, you are always left facing only the back of her head. You try all possible ways to get her around her, every attempt in vain. I feel like a ghost. I want to get out of here. Please, someone, anyone help me. This is no happy ending. Most of who I was died. I am still here. Hello, can I help you? Are you okay? You realize how stupid the last part of that question was. However, she does not stir, still oblivious to you or intentionally ignoring you. I am sorry, I am not what you wanted. Some of us are just born with tragedy in our blood. Hey, excuse me, do you need help? Again, with dumb questions this time. But this time, you make sure to have raised your voice. Still nothing. Am I just a mistake? This whole place is a fucking mistake, but you aren't. Nobody is a mistake. Oh, I'm getting chills, man. I'm getting chills. It is not the darkness that grabs me. It's the silence in here that grabs me around my throat. I cannot hide from my screaming thoughts. My head is so messed up. My head is so messed up. I feel it messing up. It's like trying to bite my own teeth. You turn to look behind you, and around the room, nothing but the mist of darkness always at your shoulders. Flutters of concern make their way through your stomach. The black seems darker than ever before. The darkness is terrible. Look at me, please. She continues, deaf to your plea. I used to think that death was like being blind and dumb, but still conscious. I realize that now that the idea was silly and naive. No, this is something entirely different. Something far worse. Being dead would be a relief compared to this. What's your name? How did you end up here? I think my air freshener scared the shit out of me. It's so strange, so odd how torturous it all is. Unable to turn, unable to face anything. But I have. Inside myself, I swear it. Her voice heightened by her statement, though. Through the hurt, and tears returned back down to somber despair. Always changing, I'm not even the same me I was 5 minutes ago. How is it possible to change so much but not be able to change anything at all? But I stay trapped in the same damned position, the same situation, left contemplating and feeling these fucking feelings. Her voice quivers to a breaking point. I just want to get out of here. I still find myself guarding my defenses. I can't help but keep building these walls around walls, nothing else. Suddenly, you become truly aware of the absurdity of all this. Through it, you still just want to help her, to not let her go through all of this. Something inside of you wants to support her more than helping yourself. An absurd fucking hero. A labyrinth protecting myself so well that I can no longer find myself at the center of it. I've grown a forest that is ever expanding and constantly thickening, pushing all inner light that I have left outwards. It's darker where myself sits than this whole place. I didn't even leave any crumbs to find my way back. The original pathway in and out has been obliterated with so many turns, so many backtracks, circles, shortcuts, scenic routes, overs and unders, sides, insides and inside outs. All I want to do is get out of here. So do I, but you need to listen to me. I ran out on my own and this is the aftermath. Pushed out by not being wanted even by myself. Well, at least I thought that, but I realize now that this isn't the case. I want me back, but it's all so overbearing I can't get out. I'm too weak to find me and take myself by the hand. How long do I have to be tortured for my wrongs? I have weaved a tangled web as a spider, but now I am the fly, stuck, trapped, encased, slowly consuming my own life force. Not destroying myself is a lot of work. Apathy envelopes me with a warm blanket of nothingness. Termites have masticated my core. The pain is so severe that even throughout the prison of rational thought, the agony vanquishes all else. It is the time to calm. It is time for calm. Time for an empty, not just around the edge, but even within, and now I weep alone. She produces a razor blade. The metal glistens with no shine. Have you ever seen before? Your eyes bulge out from your skull. You can feel them. I'm out here by myself alone. I wish they could see this world through my eyes. It all hurts so bad inside. I can't get out of here. I just want to live again. My life nowhere. I'm sick of hoping I'm in here by myself alone. I cannot take any more. I cannot take any more care. I wish they could all see the world through my eyes. I just want to live again. I just want to live again. I just want to live again. Oh boy. All right, let's go. No, don't do this. Don't be optimistic. Oof. Finally, she turns as though she had heard something, or she was merely searching for something or someone to eventually come. You cannot move, and you realize you have no influence over the next few moments as they unravel right before your eyes. Exhausted, the only thing you can do is stay. In some way, knowing that she was a witness too, and not truly alone. Brings some idea of something, if anything. So you sit beside her now. You notice calmness slowly pool over the floor as the creature empties her veins. Opened by a razor, it goes on for some time, and she continues to cry as her life force spills forth, and her self-affliction dulls to stillness. My God! How can emptiness be so fucking heavy? She had no face left, and I had no voice left to protest. Will anyone besides me remember her? Her shell had and forgotten memories after she erased herself. Will she just fade away once I meet my own demise with no one to memorialize? All this fucking darkness with cryptic pathways. Could I have gotten here quicker? Was there a different path? Choices, always choices, and now I cannot live down the deceit. Fuck, why? You scream and cry. Jesus Christ. Okay, so I just got off the phone with my boss, and he scared the crap out of me because it went through my headphone because it's connected to my phone right now. So anyways, sorry about that. Where was I at? Blah, 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 blah. Fuck, why I gotta stream? Let's see. You scream and cry, but no one is there. No one hears your call. It just echoes back at you. Nameless emotion fills you from the bottom of your soul to the top of your lungs as you continue to cry and scream. The noises which were escaping you cease after a while. You sit beside her for an incomprehensible amount of time, silent. The dark red blood begins to dry on its edges as thick, congealed crusts form over it. Sometimes you don't say goodbye only once. You say goodbye over and over and over and over and over forevermore. If only someone, if only I wasn't alone. If only we weren't all left alone. If now, not only anymore, not if anymore, but now. I gotta get a fucking grip of some sort of composure. Think, Jesus. Fuck, think. How did I even get here? Where was I before here? Where was I doing? Maybe if I can just remember, I can figure out what was here. Where here is. Damn it, where was I? Home. I was home. And the dog was barking outside. The television was on. One of those infomercials were playing, and it was a mop. Yes, a steam mop. Woof, woof, woof. The hell is he barking at? The lamp beside the couch flickered with subtlety. But I subconsciously noticed it, because I remember that detail now as I rose off the couch, heading through the kitchen straight towards the back door. The door was open and the screen door was unlocked. The light in the kitchen had this bright artificial sting to it as I walked through. Must have still been adjusting from sleep. But damn, it stung. Woof, woof, woof. I opened the back door. Hold on, I lost my spot. I opened the back screen door. I tried turning the light on by the switch. Nothing. It was dead. Fucking shit. I could see the dog in the middle of the yard, moonlight blanketing everything to a low bluish gray. Nothing out of place except the dog. It was facing towards me, towards the house, towards the back door, avoiding the house. He sat silently, just staring at me, estranged to me. The fuck is wrong? With a quickness, shock entangled its way through me. Fear shot downwards from the tip of my brain to the ends of my fingers. In the kitchen, my peripheral vision saw something through the sting of artificial glare. It was something dark, standing in the corner near the sink. I felt it behind me. Now I wasn't alone. Then, darkness and voices. It's about to begin again. Shh, I know. Well, how far do you think? Not very. Keep quiet, would you? We're about to begin. Oh no. Now I remember what it was. Move on into the darkness. Enlightened, you realize your tears could turn this whole place into a swamp. But the realization of what you know now and what is left to figure out, you have a fire that will burn this entire shithole to ash. You stand, life intensifies and rises within. The darkness welcomes you once more and you take a new step alone. I'm alive in here. I'm open wide in here. It is still all incomplete. I'm the absurd hero in here. I'll take my time and bring this whole fucking place down to the ground. My Sisyphus in here, I know. I'm Sisyphus. I don't know what that is. I don't know what Sisyphus is. I'm not educated. I know I'll never let it chain me, hold me, devour me. I welcome the darkness, not it, me. I will avenge Peggy. The final fold. Oh shit, what the fuck was that? What? It scrolled down for me. Oh, that was weird. I feel like every time I look into my camera, I'm going to see something behind me, and it's weird. We reached the final fold of the entry of Alone. The entry written by depicted prophet Nick Stravro, if I said that wrong, I apologize, and produced by Paranormal Games. This is a temporary ending. Thank you for partaking in this journey into darkness. A special thank you to my wife and soulmate for her help, support, patience, and love. We as one. My two beautiful children who drive me crazier in all aspects each day of my life, and it's the best type of crazy. Also, David Donahue, the oracle who helped us always find the answers we seek. My brother and the other half of Paranormal Games, nothing is ever possible without you. Within the menu of an area entitled From Us to You, if you have not already looked into it, please do. There is more information regarding our hopes and plans for Seul and its ever-expansive world. You can check your store for the prequel to this, which is free to look for, Seul the Days Before. If you have enjoyed the journey, please share and support us. I have a lot more to unfold for you within Seul. The mains, plus another connected title. I guess that's in development. Take care, my friends. Be a good person, but never bother provoking it. Well, there we are. That was Seul. That was super interesting. I kind of wish that it wasn't a temporary ending, because I would have liked, because like this is a long playthrough, so it's a very long drawn out story, but it definitely gives you just a feeling of like you don't know what's going on. You didn't know what to expect. The sounds that it made in the background really made me feel like there was going to be jump scares, but it's literally just text-based. I have to say that's probably the scariest text-based game I've ever played. But regardless, if you stayed through to watch this whole thing, I commend you. I thank you. Thank you so much. Make sure you hit that like button if you did enjoy. Link will be down in the description below if you want to find this game on Steam. Also, I'll link their studio's website in the description below. So make sure you check them out. Maybe they have some other cool games. Developers, if you are seeing this, hit me up with some more of those games. If they're interesting, I will definitely give them a look. I definitely enjoyed this game. But thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, game on.